I do. Except, hi. Hey, everybody. Welcome
I
to the
don't want to
Owner's
know what the
Box.
accept was.
I'm Billy Koch, a founder and managing partner of Little Red Feather Racing Club, part of also Little Red Feather Cares, alongside of me over there or over there. I don't know which way it is. Michelle Yu, who just ran a 10K, and she was telling me about it when she started the pod. So, how fast did you go?
Oh, I ran it in 11, or what, an hour and 11 minutes.
That's really good.
It's really good for me. So the last 10K I ran in an hour and 17 minutes. And that was in
Wow.
September. So in the month, 6 weeks or whatever it's been, I shaved 6 minutes off of my 10-mile time
That's amazing. Good for you.
or my 10K time. Thank
Very
you.
proud of you. And are you doing this? Is this a challenge? Is this just something you love to do?
So like last September, I was just tired of being fat. Lazy. And so I
Well,
started
I'm fat too. Don't
walking.
worry about it.
Well, I started walking and then I got like a little crazy with it. So, since September of last year, I've lost 21 pounds and all I do is
Wow.
just walk and now I run. So we ran like a couple of 5Ks and then I wanted to do the Disneyland 5K, but I got X'd out of it. So I had to
Yeah.
sign up for the 10K. So we all ran the Disneyland 10K. And then I saw this really cute medal that I wanted the other day, and it was for a 10K, and it's in North Carolina, but you can do it virtually. And so I signed up to do that. So we did it today because it's supposed to be Saturday, but I have the Breeders' Cup show.
That's very
So,
cool.
and then yesterday I signed up for the Pasadena Half Marathon.
Oh my goodness. Should I start
So
training?
maybe
I'm not very
so
good
I'm
at
gonna
that.
so my it's kind of been like two 5Ks to a 10, and then we'll do two 10Ks to a half. And then my second half mile or half marathon, I want to do the Disneyland half marathon. And then we'll see maybe 2027, maybe we'll end up doing a marathon.
Very, very good. Well, we have a good show. Chad Summers is going to join us. I think Chad's been on the show once before when we talked about um, his big horse.
Cyberknife?
No.
Mind Your Biscuits? Do we have him on Mind
Yes.
Your
I
Biscuits?
think we had him on when we talked about Mind Your
Well, that
Biscuits,
would
and
have
he's
been eons ago. Biscuit has biscuit babies in
yeah.
stakes races now.
Yeah, so we Chad Summers going to join us. He has one Breeders' Cup entrant and one mysterious, awesome 2-year-old that decided not to run in the Breeders' Cup.
Mhm.
So we're
And
going to find
we're
out.
gonna grill him about that.
Oh, I'm going to grill his ass. There's no question.
Also,
Uh,
he Chad also picks out horses for Gold Square, who has horses with 3 or 4 different trainers, and so he manages these horses with other trainers also.
Breeders' Cup pre-entries came out. Michelle, any surprises for you, or horses that you didn't expect, or is there
I don't
something you're looking forward to most? Obviously, we can talk about Breeders' Cup. We're going to have our draft next Wednesday, so it'll be
Wednesday.
out on Thursday. We have an incredible lineup this year.
It's gonna be hard.
Six
The more people you get, the harder it is.
six people: Michelle, myself, Jay Privman, Gabby Gaudet, Mike Joyce, and Simon Bray. What a crew! It's gonna be awesome. So I need to send out instructions and everything. It'll be posted probably next Thursday morning, so you have plenty of
Mhm.
time to watch the show or listen to the show and find out some of our picks and why. Now, the draft is different. Obviously, it's not necessarily your first pick in that race because there is strategy involved. You
Yeah.
need some prices to win money for charity.
Do you wanna
Um,
tell us who your number 1 draft selection would be if your pick won? Like, who's your Josh Allen?
God, I haven't thought about that. Yeah, we need to trade in fantasy. Who would be my
Don't
number
you wish you
one?
had made the trade with me for Mike Evans now?
Oh man, poor guy. Just broke his collarbone.
Terrible.
That's a great question. I think knowing my strategy, I like to take races where I don't like a lot of horses. I would probably take Precise in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile
Duke
Fillies
Philly?
turf.
Okay.
I think she's probably going to be, my guess is like 6-5. She kind of reminds me of the filly last year that won for Aidan O'Brien,
Lake
who I thought
Victoria?
was Lake Victoria, who I thought
Mhm.
was awesome. And I think this filly's probably going to rock and roll. Who's yours?
Gustad.
Yeah, that was my other choice. I think
I
those
mean, since
two.
when I saw him at Ascot, I was like, "Yeah, Breeders' Cup winner right there."
Yeah, I think those two are going to be very, very tough to beat on Friday. And I think the pick six that day may not pay that much. You better spread in those other races. So um, I was a little bummed that I can't say his name, Obumdesman,
Oh,
Oh,
ombudsman, ombudsman.
Ombudsman didn't
Mhm.
come for the turf, even though we're in the turf. I kind of wanted to see him. I kind of like him, but that turf race is insane.
Okay, are you Mini Hawk or Rebels Romance?
I'm Gold Phoenix, bro. Come on,
Yeah.
GFP. It's so funny because like you kind of get excited when you're like, okay, man, he's in the best form of his life. He
He
ran fourth
loves
the last two
Delmar.
years. He loves Del Mar. And then you start looking and you see like Mini Hawk, Goliath, Rebels Romance, and you're like, maybe we can run fourth.
Hey, fourth again would not be a bad thing,
Hey, we would take it. We would take
right?
it. Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that Later Than Planned didn't get into the body of the field yet for
Mhm.
the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Sprint, and I think Billy's soapbox could say that you know California has a prep for the Breeders' Cup, and the winner doesn't get into the Breeders' Cup is kind of it makes you think about how the panel puts their emphasis on 2-year-old turf racing. There
That
were a
happened
couple.
to us a few years ago when we ran
Yeah,
2nd in the Win and You're In, and we didn't get in, but the horse that ran 3rd and 4th and 5th in a graded stake at New York all
right.
got in, and 2 of them were maidens, and we had broke our maiden and ran 2nd in a stake, but it wasn't graded.
Yeah, and that's listen, I'm on the grade stakes committee. We know that, and
Mhm.
it's almost like it's a fine line because do you bump up the speakeasy to make it a grade 3, which would kind of equalize the playing field, but you're adding another graded stake, which a
We
lot
don't
of
need.
the speakeasy, with all due respect, the last 4 years, the speakeasy runner has finished I'm sorry, 11th, ninth, ninth, ninth. So
Mhm.
that the panel really deducted the fact that maybe it's not the strongest race. But is it really fair that the Phillies and the Colts each get um graded stake opportunities in New York,
That
right?
we
They had
don't.
both of
Mhm.
those races. I don't know what's happening behind me. I'm in the middle of a podcast, but my
Kathy.
wife felt that it, needed to just clean the room right now. So you can say hi.
Hi.
It's
Hi,
Michelle.
Oh, hi,
Kathy.
Michelle.
How are you?
She's
Someone was out of
Now the
toothpaste.
now
and I
the
just need-
podcast is better.
yeah, she's my Spencer. All right, get out of here.
Sorry.
All right, so so they had the two races, I think the Matron and the Futurity, that are both grade 3s. And it's like if you run in that, and we're so regionalized right now, so you can't expect a horse like Later Than Planned to just ship to New
Mhm.
York to run in the grade
Yeah.
3 when we have the Speakeasy. So either those have to come down
Well,
and become
those are the
ungraded,
dirt
like,
races, right? So
well,
the
no, the Indian Summer is
Indian
also not
Summer.
graded at Keeneland.
Mhm.
So you just have such an advantage to get into the Breeders' Cup
They
if
have
you're in
the
New
with
York.
anticipation, they have all kinds of
Yeah,
Pilgrim,
right,
but
right.
maybe the Breeders' Cup needs to make less emphasis on the grade.
2-year-old, yeah,
Well, yeah,
2-year-old graded
for
6.
2-year-olds.
Something's got to give because it's not really right,
Well,
but it
also
is what it
No
is.
Balls, last year's winner of the turf sprint is not
2
in the
years
body
ago.
of the field. 2 years ago,
2 years ago.
sorry.
Yeah,
Is not in the body of the field. I saw a lot of people dismayed about that as well.
yeah. Is Chad we still have 5 minutes, great.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes.
Anything else that caught your eye? Anybody that you're really looking forward to seeing?
Well, definitely looking forward to seeing, Forever Young, shipping in and how exciting that's gonna be. I think that having Sovereignty come back and then try Olders in here is gonna be, very, very good. Obviously, there's so much drama with Contrary Thinking being entered.
Do you care about that?
No, I mean,
I don't either.
I don't because
Do whatever you want.
rabbits are rabbits, like,
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever. I think it's overblown.
I mean, really, there's gonna be I think the Dirt Mile is gonna be a great race.
I do too.
I mean, when you look at that lineup, because they're cutting back Nisos, they've got Mystic Daniels running well, they've got Full Serrano. This is a really, really good race. It's better than the sprint,
I think so too.
right?
I totally agree with you.
Okay, my
I,
last
I just think
yeah.
I think it's nice. We have a lot of stars, and I think the stars are going to shine. I think it's going to be a great couple of days at Del Mar. There's probably still tickets available. To go to breederscup.com
I don't
if
know if
you
there are
haven't.
for tables, but maybe GAs.
Yeah, maybe.
My last question,
Yeah.
Brant or Ned Toffee? Ted Noffee.
I haven't seen any of the figures yet that I use. I
Mhm,
think Ned Toffee will be favored.
Mhm.
I think Brant has an advantage not having to ship and having run twice at Del Mar over the track,
Mhm.
but he's never gone 2 turns. I think they're probably going to be I think they're going to be the top 2 choices.
Yeah.
I see Ned Toffee probably at like 7-5 and Brant at 2-1 or something like that from a gambling standpoint. I think in multiples, you probably have to choose one unless you have some prices elsewhere, because on that day, you're going to have horses like Precise and Gestad. And if those 2 win, you're going to need a price somewhere. So either, it's going to be hard to use both of those horses in that
Mhm.
race. I just like, if you gun to my head right now, I'd probably take Brant.
Okay.
Um, just because of the home field advantage and how many times, I don't think Ned Toffee has faced a horse like Brant that's
Mhm.
probably going to be on the lead when they turn for home. And I think Ted Noffee is awesome. I'm a big fan of Spendthrift and Ned and the whole gang, and um, I think it's gonna be a really good race.
All right, Chad is joining us. Are you
All
ready
right,
to have Chad? Hold on one
yeah,
second. Ryan's at the farm. He's calling me. Just one second. I'm going to pause this and then I'll bring you in, Chad. One sec.
all right.
All
Back on
right.
the owner's box, we're gonna bring
Let's
in
bring in.
Chad, Hanging Chad Summers. Look at you, Mr. Del
Whoa.
Mar.
What's going on, guys?
I'm sorry about the weather. It looks awful there. Are you okay?
Well, I mean, I finally took the winter hat off. The first couple interviews I had to do, thought I was still in New York.
It's cold in
In
the
the morning.
mornings.
Listen, they told me that San Diego is the most perfect place of all time. The
It
first
is.
year I came here in 2017, I had flip flops and shorts, and I learned
No.
very quickly that the fall meet at Del Mar is not the same thing as the summer meet
Correct.
at Del Mar,
Correct.
which I've never been to the summer meet.
Oh, yeah, you can
We're
wear flip-flops at
you're
the summer
listen.
meet.
You're an East Coast guy. You're Saratoga.
Yeah.
You have to choose. You can't play both sides. So
Yeah,
we're Saratoga in the summertime.
Chad, I promise you, I'll make you a
Yes.
bet, and
Okay.
I'll bet you whatever you want. You come out for one Del Mar meet, you'll never go back to Saratoga.
No way. Chad loves
Listen.
100%.
Hey,
Saratoga.
Tom Proctor made his way to Saratoga this year. Never say never.
Okay, yeah, you're right about that. Hey man, congratulations. Exciting times
Thank
for
you.
you with a nice Breeders' Cup runner. I wanna before we get, I want to make you really pissed off. You had a very good 2-year-old win a big race at where was it? Belmont?
Well, Aqueduct
Aqueduct,
because
because
Aqueduct.
Belmont's under construction.
Belmont at Aqueduct though, so it's still
Yeah.
Belmont, right?
All right, give me the name of the horse. I'm just blanking right now.
Napoleon
Napoleon
Solo.
Solo, my favorite.
Napoleon Solo, Michelle's favorite horse. Now, you win a win and you're in, I believe, too, right?
Yeah.
And you decide not to come to the Breeders' Cup. Now,
hmm
look who you're talking to, me and Michelle. We hear all this, oh, he's gonna bounce. Listen, I'm a Sheets guy, get it. But like that must have been a very difficult decision, because I don't know if I could make that decision.
Look, there's a lot of factors that go into it, right? I mean, he's a young 2 year old that's very, very rambunctious. Emily Ellingwood gets on him every day, and she does a great job with him. But I mean, he's high as a kite. He's on his hind legs every day. To take a horse like that across the country on his first plane ride, on the heels of everything. It wasn't just, yeah, he ran really fast. And look, I mean, he's
Right.
2/5 of a second off the track record,
Yeah, it's
going three
insane.
quarters. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, he ran faster than most 2 year olds ever run. He ran faster than maybe any horse I've ever had run 3 quarters, and I had the fastest
Yeah.
horse in the world for a while. But to me, what he did on the heels of everything else, it made the decision a little bit easier. And
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a lifetime breeding right to Ted Noffee for not running to try and make him champion. So, I think that'll help the
Not to
cause.
Brant.
Look,
Not to Brant.
no, I was talking about the winner. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
like
Oh, wow.
to me, the thing was at the end of the day, you just want to look at the horse's career as a whole. The next couple of Breeders' Cups are going to be at Keeneland and at Belmont. There's a lot of things kind of moving forward. He showed us how brilliant he is. Would I selfishly love to go to the Breeders' Cup with him? 100%. Who wouldn't want to, right? We'd be the third choice at 4-1, something like that, with a real puncher's chance that's got speed, and he was tactical first time that he ran. I'd love to take on Brandon Ted Noffee, but it just wasn't in the best interest of the horse at this point in time. And we look forward to hopefully running against them next year. That's all.
Who ultimately made that decision? Was it you? Was it the owners? Was it like you guys sitting down and having a real phone call?
No, look, it's a conversation. Working for Al Gold, he's been on your show before.
Yep.
You know his personality.
He
Look,
was great.
he wants to be a part of these big races 100%. That's why we've kind of made a commitment over the last several years to step up our game and buy some of these kind of horses. And you know, it's not an easy decision, but he sees the bigger picture as well and kind of sees what the horse is and how special the horse is. It didn't help, on Monday when pre-entries came out and there was only 9 in there and one of them was a maiden claimer. And, I did get that phone call, are we sure, kind of thing. But,
Oh, wow.
it's one of those things where, he has a lot of trust in me and I have a lot of trust in him. And we just kind of feel like we're looking out for the horse.
Michelle, could you have done that?
Could I have done what? Bypass the race?
Could you have won like the American Pharoah or the race that Chad won in New York and bypassed a chance to win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile with a real live horse? Could you have? I don't think I could have done it.
I mean, if the reasoning is sound, like I would hate this. I would hate to say, no, Chad, we're gonna run no matter what. He gets on the plane, flips over, cracks his head, and he can't run for like months. I mean, like I know the horse is goofy, right? So there is something to be said about shipping a goofy horse across the country. Maybe if it was in your backyard, you're like, oh no, we're taking the shot no matter what.
It's a different it's a
bring
different
him out
situation.
on Breeders' Cup Day and everything, and with all that, and having been around him and seeing what he can do, like I guess you'd have to say it'd be risky, right?
But it is good. It is good what Chad is saying, and this is definitely a learning thing for people, especially newbies getting into horses. And it's do what's best for the horse. And if Chad and the owners are on board, and you're doing the best thing for the horse, and he has a great career, and you're pointing to a Kentucky Derby type horse, then yeah, that's by all means. And by the way, it's the owner's horse. You can do whatever he wants.
I have a question. Is he like when you bought? Okay, so Chad's bought a grade 1 winner that cost what, $30,000, $40,000, and $50,000 the last couple of years. What?
Three different horses, yeah.
3 different horses, right? Sorry.
10 grade 1 winners now.
So
when
you bought him,
at one point, Billy's going to say that I can buy one for him at one point,
When you bought him, did you think he's going to be a Derby horse, or did you think he looked more precocious? What was your thoughts when you bought him? He's a big old hunk.
I was very excited that the reserve was 39, selling 40. It was going to be an auction eligible horse. Look, this was the thing. Even when we ran him first time out, look, he was training really well, and we thought he can be a maiden special weight. But I love that auction restricted race that they came out. I don't know if it's in California, but it's in New York and Kentucky. And, some of those places, and you don't have to run against Ted Nafi. You don't have to run against the $3 million brand. It doesn't mean that your horse is no good. The first ever winner of the auction race was a horse named British Idiom for Brad Cox, and she won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And people forget about that. Torpedo Anna, who just retired, she broke her maiden in an auction eligible race as well. So to me, it's a great stepping stone for young horses that you don't spend a lot of money on. To try and go that way.
Hi, Dave.
Look at this special guest. Hi, Zoe.
How are you?
Zoe, we can just ask you, how is Dry Powder training?
She's training great.
How's she look? How's that body clip look?
It's not going to look great. She didn't have much hair. She 2-minute yesterday with Emily aboard, according to Mike Welsh. Shout out to my buddy Mike. But she's doing great.
Where's Emily's over there too? Emily, come on, tell us how Dry Powder went today.
No, she's drinking a mimosa. And I think I drove down here, clipped his horse, and it cost me money because I just bought breakfast.
How'd you buy breakfast?
Zoe has never bought me
taking
breakfast.
him to breakfast?
Wait.
We went to
Zoe and I go all
Claire's.
kinds of places. She never buys breakfast.
Did you get what pancakes did you get?
I went with the California. I said California. I felt like one in California due was a Californian, so I got the California omelet.
Nice. Where else have you been eating in Del Mar?
Not very many places.
Where are we going to dinner on Monday?
We're very vanilla. We'll go to one of the top 10 choices that Michelle highlighted in her last video.
Thank you. Thank you.
She'll be here for 8 days, so you can choose 8 of the 10 that we go to. But
not all of them were food. Just to be fair, Chad, there was like the Annie's Canyon hiking is one of them. Okay, so
yeah,
I don't think Chad's going hiking.
I'm not going hiking. That's not. Listen, I went hiking in Santa Anita on that Mount Olympus, and there's no railing, and you almost fall off. And I said, I'm not going hiking again.
It's not Mount Olympus.
What is it, Mount?
It felt like Mount Olympus.
It's Mount Wilson.
Is it Mount Wilson?
Yes.
Okay.
Same.
Mount Wilson Trail.
Chad,
Same.
I have
what?
my
Let's
producer with
talk
me.
about. We were talking about you picking horses, and
Yes.
Zoe does that as well, and how well you've done with these modest price horses. Can you give us a little sense of when you go to these sales, what you're looking for, and how you're able to find these diamonds in the rough?
Look, so for me, there's a lot of different aspects that go into it, right? So the first thing we do, like when the book comes, let's say like it's a Keeneland September sale or the Phasing October sale, whatever it is. When that book comes in the mail, I'm like a kid at Christmas, right? I get so excited and I'm flipping through the pages, and so you do a lot of the legwork beforehand, right? We've done a lot of the work on nicks, on dosage, on pedigrees, and kind of seeing what's what. So there's one category where I'll just write down pedigrees that appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
It might be new stallions you want to see. It might be something you knew from the family. I keep a list on Excel of all the horses I've seen before, and so I'll look at look them up if I've seen a half brother, half sister
Right.
that I like that I didn't buy for one reason or another. That doesn't mean that and they might not have become a stake horse, but you felt like there was some talent and some ability there. So you want to make sure that you extra look at those horses, and then at the end of the day, all that kind of gets put in the back pocket because we go to the sale and we look at every single horse. And,
Wow.
And I just go barn to barn. I'll start at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm super quick. And I just look at every single horse. I'm there from 7 a.m. until they kick us out. And we'll be generous and we'll have second look lists. So I'll end up being, say you looked at 400 horses, in the combination with the pedigree horses and everything else that you want to go back. I might look at 50 the next day or 60 the next day. So you're looking at 460 the following day, which is next to impossible, but we get it done. And
Right.
and you work really, really hard and you have a good team of people around you, have a great vets. Dr. Pughart and his wife Susie that have been by my side for the last 10 years, kind of looking at the x-rays and knowing what we can and can't live with. There's not every time you're going to buy a perfect horse, right?
Yeah.
There might be some writing on the vet list, but it's what you can and can't live with.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's the funny thing. Like when you buy a horse inexpensively and they do well, the first question is, what's wrong with the
They bet.
horse? Like how did you get Napoleon Solo for 40,000? He's by Liam's
Yeah.
map. And he was fine. He was a little bit immature. He was a little small. And he was like one of the last 10 horses of the sale that day. And
Wow.
we've done well. Like you're pounding the pavement and you're staying there. So
Yeah.
it's 7:30 at night at Keeneland when everybody else is at Mark's or Tony's or Malone's, and we're sitting there, with the janitor crew, bidding on the last few horses of the sale. And we got lucky. The reserve was the reserve. I don't, we bought it from the Gunthers, who raise a really, really good horse, Glenwood Farm. They have Justify and Vino Rosso and No Parole, and the list goes on and on. And when John, the father, said the reserve was 39, he didn't tell his daughter. And when I bought the horse for 40, she wasn't very happy because she thought
Oh
the horse was
no! You
worth.
stole him. You
She thought,
stole
yeah,
him.
she thought the horse was worth more than that. And
But is
he,
there? Let me ask you a quick. Let me stop you right there because I want
yeah,
to know from a physical standpoint. Obviously, there's a lot of work. Do you have a thing? Like we've had people come on. They're like, I have to have a great back leg, or I have to have
yeah. So
a
I don't
big
believe in any of
gasket.
that. No, I don't. So I don't believe in any of that. To me,
Okay.
that the one thing they have to be is they have to be an athlete. Like that's the thing. They have to have that athletic walk and that athletic move to them, and that's the most important thing. And I can make a decision within 10 seconds of them coming at me or walking away from me, whether I like a horse or I don't like a horse. And then when I
Amazing.
come back and see him again, my rule of thumb is that I have to like him more the next time than I did the last time. If I like him the same, they're off the list.
Interesting.
I have to like kind of fall in love. It's like falling in
Yeah.
love. It's like a bad rom-com, right? And
Yeah.
like
It's
you're
like
just
me and
trying to fall.
Michelle.
Yeah, you're like trying to fall in love, and that everything kind of ticks the boxes, and you hope that you're right. And look, a lot of it is using your imagination. A lot of it is from seeing the amount of horses that you see. You get a feel of certain things, right? And like my favorite thing to do. It's funny in Saratoga they have the holding barn where you're walking like 15 minutes before your race, and you'll go over there to claim a horse. I go over there for stake races. And I watch the horses walk in the stake race for 15 minutes before they run because I want to see what a stake horse looks like.
Yeah.
I love being at the Breeders' Cup because they all have their saddle towels and you can watch every horse train.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, now you're putting a face to the name and you're watching the horse train and how they move and how they, some of them might breeze or some of them might do a little piece of work. And you
Yeah.
get an idea on how they move and how that equates to how they run. And then you try and use that imagination the next time you're at a sale, maybe looking for something from that same sire line or that same dam sire line or something like that. And I like
Right.
outliers, sometimes horses that don't look like the rest of that family.
Buddy, you're talking to a guy.
Horse that I want to know if there's any horse that you can think off the top of your head that influenced you buying another horse that you've seen.
Oh, thank you for buying breakfast, Zoe, with my card. I appreciate it.
Wait,
God, I didn't know that
before
was
we
your
leave that,
car.
because that's a tough question.
I bought the breakfast.
What you're talking about is vision, and Michelle and I have talked about this a lot with vision. And I think there's so many things that go into. You just talked about so many different things. Timing, when a horse is sold, if it's the end of the day, the beginning of the day, day 2, day 3, and you're talking about that vision. And I think really good bloodstock agents like yourself are able, and good pin hookers are able to see a horse as a baby and say, okay, what's this horse going to look like in a year? What's this horse going to look like in 2 years?
Listen, I think one of the things that really comes to it, Billy, is first of all, a lot of people are drawn to the perfect horse at that sale. And if you're at a weanling sale, or it's one thing at a 2-year-old sale where at least, they can run in a couple of months, arguably, maybe not if you're trying to make the Derby, but they can run in a few months. Brant didn't run very long after he was bought.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, to me, when you're at a weanling sale or a yearling sale, you're looking at the ceiling and the floor, right? If I'm right, what is the horse going to look like? If I'm wrong, what is the horse going to look like? And what are our alternatives? Can you be in a 2-year-old sale? Do you move on? Because the one thing you don't want to do is chase good money after bad.
Yep.
And so like we go down, and George Villagomez has broke our horses for the last 3 years. He does a great job down in Ocala at Nelson Jones Training Center. And, I'm down there every 3.5, 4 weeks. And we go through all the horses, and we'll watch them walk in the afternoon. We'll watch them train the next morning. And, some of them will breeze, whatever it is. And then you make plans on how they're progressing, what's going on. Does one need a break? Not be afraid. The biggest thing is not be afraid to stop on one.
Yeah.
Don't
just not
push.
ready.
Like so many times when owners get involved, and they become very impatient for a lot of different reasons. One, especially new owners, like this podcast kind of matriculates to a little bit. People that come into this game have a situation where they've been very successful at whatever they've done in the past in other lines of businesses.
Yeah.
And they come in and they go, okay, I'm going to throw a little money at it, and I'm going to put together a team, and we're going to win. And it doesn't come that simple. And what happens is they've spent $300,000 for a horse. You don't want to make that phone call as a trainer and say, listen, your horse is good. There's nothing wrong with him, but I'd like to send him to the farm for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear that. They've already put this money in. They're now paying $5,000 a month in bills to get up to it. And you're telling me there's nothing wrong with the horse, doesn't need a surgery or anything like that. He's just not ready for the show.
Yeah.
And like you equate it to football, where it's okay sometimes to take a redshirt year.
Yeah.
But now with the transfer portal, they don't want to. They'll just no. I'm not playing right now. I'm going to transfer, and next thing you know, they're in 5 schools, and they're never going to make it to the pros.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Sometimes
It's a great parallel.
You sit down, you learn, you get some steps in. Dry Powder's a perfect example. The filly we're running in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Okay, we spent a lot of money on her. Now she wasn't 40,000 like Napoleon Solo. She was 525,000.
Right.
And she was the most expensive horse we bought that year by a lot. And loved her as a yearling, broke her, beautiful filly, came up with us, and she just wasn't ready. She breezed. You can look at her 2-year-old season. She was breezing 48s and 49s and, did everything the right way, but she wasn't ready. And so we made the decision to stop on her rather than chase the Kentucky Oaks or something like that. We stopped on her, gave her 2 months off on the farm, and then brought her back. And when she came back, she was everything we envisioned she would be. At that point, she had filled into her frame. She
bigger, stronger,
big, strong
mentally. Yeah,
right. It's just a different ball game, and because of that, she was able to win first time out. At Gulfstream in March, right, and then she was able to go on and run in grade 1s in the summertime, and just get beat a whisker in the cotillion in September, and still have fresh horse to come to the Breeders' Cup because she's not really been in full training. She started in February. She wasn't going through that 2-year-old cycle into the 3-year-old cycle.
Yeah.
So you're okay to run. And look, we plan on having a big 4-year-old year with her next year. She's booked right after the Breeders' Cup to the farm.
Yeah.
And she's going to get a little vacation.
So win, lose, or draw, she's getting a break.
That's it.
Yeah.
She'll get 30, 45 days off, and then you make the plans for next year to try and hopefully get back to the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland next year. But that's the
What's
thing too, is
yeah.
like you want to have that plan. Like I can't stress enough how important it is when you buy a horse or you claim a horse or whatever you're trying to do, you want to have a plan in place. Your best case and your worst case, you want to have all the bases covered at all times.
That's right. That's a great point. What is the difference between Chad Summers, bloodstock agent, and Chad Summers, trainer?
He gets a lot more respect as a bloodstock agent. There's a lot of people that think I can't train.
How many horses do you actually train?
I have 24 right now.
And Chad's winning at like 30% right now, but he's like the most under-respected.
So why do you think that? Why do you think you get that reputation?
Well, I think there's a lot of misconceptions on what happened with Mind Your Biscuits from the start. That's for one. I think when I blew up and I got big as a trainer, I had 4 horses just kind of piddling around. I win the $2 million race with Mind Your Biscuits in Dubai, and I went from 4 to 60. And originally had all these people that said they were going to come work for me when I get big. And you call them when you get back, and they're not leaving the jobs that they're at. They're content. So who are you finding? You're finding the don't have a job, right?
Yeah.
The guys that can't hold work, the guys that are in the kitchen, just whatever, and they don't stay. And you're only as good as your help. I mean, I can't stress that enough. If you don't have the right team around you with riders and grooms and hot walkers, it doesn't make a difference one little bit. You'll struggle every single day. It doesn't matter how good you are as a trainer. You need that team. And the one thing is, when you get that big that quick, you have people that just aren't good enough. And I had every big owner's worst horse because I bought Mind Your Biscuits for $30,000. So I said, here's my $30,000 project that has
Make
shifts
it
in
Mind
both
Your
knees and
Biscuits.
ankles.
Yeah.
Make them into a Kentucky Derby horse. And it's not that simple. And they all want to run at Saratoga. And at that point, you're sitting there and you say, oh, okay, yeah, this is easy. I did this with Mind Your Biscuits. I'll do this with your horse. And you learn quickly, no, like Mind Your Biscuits was really special. And he had those things. And I wasn't able to replicate that with some of these other horses. And so you go down kind of a path of, the other way. And so it took a while for me to kind of find my kind of grip and grasp on how I wanted to do things and how to treat every horse as an individual and really to fill my barn with horses that I buy, because my biggest strength is in buying horses. There might be somebody like Rudy Rodriguez who's great at riding horses in the morning time. He can tell how one feels. I'm too heavy for that. So I'm not going to ride anything, thankfully. So I'm just trying to help
Chad,
everybody else in how I buy.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That was a big learning experience for you, obviously. And that's something
I can't hear
that...
Hello.
Oh, did we lose you?
I got no sound.
We hear you.
We hear you.
No sound.
No sound. All right, we'll pause it.
How do I do this?
Hold on. Oh, he's trying to come out and come back in. Let's see. Pause.
Oh,
hold on.
Oh,
okay. Now you can go. Peyton's gonna have to edit the crap out of this show.
That's okay. It's all right. He's too handsome anyway. Hey, is there a horse? I don't know. I think some of the horses have started to arrive. Or is there a horse that you're
Chad was the very first horse.
I know he was. Is there a horse that you're looking forward to seeing, that just one Breeders' Cup horse that you're kind of excited about, other than your own?
It's got to be Sovereignty, right? I mean, like I've spent a lot of time, obviously being on the East Coast, and I have all the respect in the world for Bill Mott. And, just kind of saying, he arrived here yesterday. I mean, he looks every bit the part of a stallion. And, to take on the older horses and what he's done so far this year, as a racing fan, that Classic looks like it's probably the best race on the card.
Yeah.
You always get excited about the European horses and Japanese, just to see horses you haven't seen before. But to me, Sovereignty is that one horse that I'm really the most looking forward to.
Who does Dry Powder have to beat?
So Dry Powder, just for one, the draw. Let's start with that, right? I mean, when if it's 14 or it looks like 13, if the Japanese filly goes to the mile, you don't want to be out in the parking lot. You don't necessarily want to be inside on the rail. You want to see where Seismic Beauty and Jin Jin are kind of drawn, being the speed of the race. So our race starts on Monday, right? But to me, look, I have a lot of respect for all the fillies that have earned their way into this race. I think it's going to be a competitive race, but I mean, it's certainly not the deepest distaff field in history, and we feel like she's coming into this race the right way and has every bit of a chance. It's funny though, looking at like the morning lines, David Aragona makes the morning line for DRF, and it's not the real morning line, but he's pretty sharp and pretty spot on. And he had like Click It at 10-1 and us at 20-1, and she beat us literally by a whisker last time.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it was-
you know, to me, you know, that again, I think that goes into the respect for me as a trainer, where if that horse was trained by Brad Cox and not Chad Summers, maybe she's 10-1 like Brendan Walsh's horse is.
Brad
So,
Cox with not one dirt entrant in the Breeders' Cup this year. I
yeah,
saw
we're
that.
used to having more than him in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I've never had a dirt entrant.
Chad, also
Yes.
since we were talking about Mind Your Biscuits a little bit, biscuit babies abound. What have you thought about them?
Look, I mean, his first crop, he was second in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and you want to talk about not getting any respect, right? Here's a horse who I couldn't get a stallion deal done in America. I had to take him to Japan, and his first crop of horses, the horse runs second in the Breeders' Cup Classic in Derma Setagaki.
Yeah.
And even then, like, still doesn't get a ton of respect over there. His first year, he had 100 foals, and like 91 of them started, or 96 of them started, and 89 of them won, which in
Wow.
America would have been like the greatest record of all time. And like still doesn't get any respect at all. I have my first one that's a 2-year-old now that we named Life is Gravy, that we bought for 1,700 guineas.
Wow.
And we bought him in Ireland, and I had to keep him on a farm. And the lady that's farm I sent him out, she goes, "Oh, he's a lovely horse, but I never heard of the father before." I mean, you want to talk about just like daggers? I'm like, yeah, all right. Well, I
You
mean,
know
he
what?
did make
I
$4.5 million. Like he wasn't really that much of a bum, but thank you for not. And then she goes, "Oh, I nicknamed his son." I said, "Oh, what'd you nickname him?" She goes, "Biscuits." Oh, very original nickname. I'm pretty sure Michelle's daughter nicknamed him that when she was 3.
That's very good. That's very
Oh
good.
my gosh! And
I think,
aren't
you know
you
what?
heading to Japan to pick out some babies?
Yeah, no. One of our former partners in Mind Your Biscuits, Michael Kisper, just recently retired, and he wants to buy 3 fillies. So we're actually at some point. I've seen the pictures. We have them all picked out, but we're gonna go over there literally for 30 minutes. I'm gonna fly over. It's gonna be a 24-hour flight. I'm gonna go to the farm. I'm gonna say hi to Biscuits, look at his kids, and then fly right back, and hopefully pick the right 3.
What are you going to watch on the flight?
His eyelids.
So there's just not a lot of choices anymore. I've watched, flying as much as I've flown. You've seen everything.
Did you see Task?
I have not yet. What is Task?
New HBO show that just ended. It's really good. It's the
Are
same
you part
people.
of the writing crew?
No, yeah, we're right. The same guy who wrote Mayor of East.
Mayor of Eastwood or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's very good. Very,
Okay.
very good. So there's 2 shows you can watch.
Task and Mayor of Eastwood.
Yeah.
Shout out.
You hear Emily back there?
I hear
chirping?
Emily back there. Where's Emily?
Mayor of
Chirpy,
Easttown. My sister.
Mayor of Easttown. There you go.
I heard she won a Grammy for it, or not
Yeah.
an Emmy,
And Emmy.
whatever. Yeah.
Hi, Em.
Hey.
How you doing? We've missed you.
Yeah.
What's your last name? I can't say it.
You
Ellingsworth.
have never been able to.
What do I call her? Ellingsworth.
Ellingsworth.
Ellingsworth. All right. Good to see you in Del Mar. Chad, go back to Chad.
Wait. I got one more thing for Chad because we're aftercare people. And
yeah.
Chad had a really cool aftercare story to tell us.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we had a couple of that. We had a former horse named 19 Oysters, because you can't order 19 oysters in a restaurant. He was ridden by Matty Alver when he won first time out. He was a nice little horse for us, New York bred. And when we retired him, Maddie loved him, so she asked if she can have him. We sent her to her mom in Colorado, and he just won the Thoroughbred Makeover this year.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Super excited about him. And then we had another horse named the Other Chad, appropriately named, I guess.
Yeah.
And he just won a big hunter jumper show in Pennsylvania. So everybody's
that's
doing
amazing.
well. Yeah.
Very good. Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate you. We're looking forward to seeing you next week down in Del Mar. Enjoy some good meals before Michelle gets there, because you know it might get expensive when she does.
Now here's the only
How
thing,
did I
Billy.
share all of our meals?
This is a very important question for you.
Okay.
Are you a superstitious guy?
Very much.
Okay. So you won the Breeders' Cup with Singletary. Okay.
That was 22 years ago.
Going to the tax shop. Yeah, Donnie looks exactly the same.
He really does.
You go to the tax shop. We're playing with the crops.
Yeah.
We're doing all sorts of things. We're chanting Singletary.
Yes.
So when you get out here, we need to do a video chanting Dry Powder, going to Mary's tax shop, and trying to bring all the luck we have.
Recreate
Look,
the magic.
I want to win a
Are we
Breeders'
going
Cup
to do one
in the.
with Gold Phoenix too?
Yeah,
GFP.
but we want to win the Breeders' Cup in the worst way. We've had a bunch of seconds and thirds. I got Emily with me. She won the Breeders' Cup with White Barrio. My groom Felix is over here. He won a Breeders' Cup with a Gina back in the day for Bill Mott.
Wow.
We're trying to surround ourselves with positive thoughts and winners. You've all won Breeders' Cup, so I'm just trying to get to that level with you.
I think your day will come, my friend, even though you are the Rodney Dangerfield of horse racing. That's what we're
Ain't that the
calling you.
truth?
No respect.
No
that's all
respect.
good.
All right, buddy. We'll see you in Del Mar next week. Keep up the
Have a
good
good
work.
one, guys. Bye.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Chad.
Chad Summers here on the owner's box. Always the irreverent
I love
Chad
Chad.
Summers. Yeah, that's nice when you hear about Thoroughbred Makeover. It was last week. It's a big hit, and we had a couple horses in there too. Lapeer was in there for us, Michelle.
Yes, her and our horse Big Rainbow were on the same
yeah,
scholarship.
yeah, we didn't do that well, but that's
No,
okay. No,
I didn't look at the results actually.
maybe next year. Maybe next year. We have the draft next Wednesday. What do we have? We have Santa Anita closing weekend. We have a great stake coming up on Sunday, the Autumn Miss.
Yes.
With featuring Slicky and
I
Innovative.
saw that.
Innovative, the most underrated
Innovative.
3-year-old
Mhm.
filly in the country. That's what I call her.
We
Speaking
Yes.
of bargain basement purchases, we have a filly on Friday in race 3 that we bought for $40,000 at OBS, and we think one of the reasons we bought her for 40 was she was hip 3.
Friday race 3. Hold on, let me.
Friday race 3. She's the 2-1 favorite. Her name is Peanut Butter Bomb.
Oh, Peanut Butter Bomb.
Yep, she is named for the dessert at the Pamplemousse because Jeffrey Strauss and Bill Strauss are involved in the ownership, and we're very excited about her.
I remember her. Plus,
yeah.
this is what Gary Fenton's son interns at the Pamplemousse,
That's
he makes peanut butter bombs.
That's right. So Peanut Butter Bomb on Friday. Michelle, anything for you this weekend?
Nothing exciting, I don't think.
Just some running.
Just some running.
You keep on running, you little Forrest Gump, you. All right, guys. Thanks, Chad Summers. Thanks for everybody. Thank you for listening to this show. I went to a funeral yesterday, Michelle. And
you're gonna end this on a funeral story? I'm so sad.
It's a positive. It was all about gratitude. There was a lot in the speeches. The gentleman who died, who was a great guy, talked a lot about gratitude. My son is behind me right now. I'm just very thankful for you and for us to be able to do this on a weekly basis, and to all the people that actually listen to the show and come up to us. Really appreciate you. And I think it's important, especially we're getting close to Thanksgiving, and I know that you're the type of person that's very thankful. I'm so thankful for my family, my horse racing family, and just, it makes you feel good to really say that to people. So I think everyone, make sure you have a little bit of gratitude. There you go. See ya.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.